robbed her of the chance of giving birth again. Naturally, Will had been devastated, but he held on to the fact that he still had his beautiful wife. Kate, on the other hand, had been terribly affected, needing countless months of counselling. Depression had followed, culminating in a short period in a psychiatric unit, and then a regime of drugs whose side effect was a debilitating ennui that made doing the work she loved impossible. Just as Kate was starting to improve, reduce the medication, and begin painting again, Will had been attacked by a crackhead, and his arm had been badly broken in 2 places. As soon as he had recovered enough to drive again, they had decided it was time to move away from their old home and all its bad memories. They hoped, in new surroundings, they could move forward. They could hardly believe their luck when they found Holland House, an old property on Whisper Fen. They had now lived there for almost 6 months. "I'm not sure Fen life is suiting our Will, are you?" said Liz thoughtfully. "He's alone so much when Kate is working. Perhaps it's getting to him." Matt agreed. "Will has always been active, and let's face it, suddenly having to leave the career you'd been expecting to follow until you were pensioned off is very hard to swallow." He looked at her. "Well, you know about that, don't you, my love? It's certainly a shock, but you can't go back and change the past, so you just have to move forward." Liz winked at him. "And sometimes things turn out better than you ever expected, huh, Mr. Ballard?" "You're so right, but we've been lucky. Even though we went through some very dark times, we aren't as fragile or sensitive as Kate. She was always delicate, and as Will is the first to admit, she's never really got over losing their baby. Probably she never will." Matt eased the car into the lane that led to Tanner's Fen and home. "I wonder why Will wants to talk to us so urgently. I'm beginning to get a bit anxious." "Me too." Liz stared out over the miles of lush green fields of vegetable crops. "Matt, what do you think of their new home, Holland House?" He exhaled. "Well, I've known it all my life, so I've never really thought about it. It's in a beautifully remote spot, and it was an absolute steal at the price they paid. I've always thought it an imposing sort of place. It still needs a lot of updating, probably hasn't been touched since old Lady Holland was younger, but—" "No, I don't mean the practical things. What do you feel about it?" Matt shrugged. "I don't feel anything, really." Maybe that's what I mean," Liz mused. "Our home always makes me want to smile, but Holland House seems, well, lifeless." Matt laughed out loud. "You didn't smile when you first saw the old Ballard family pile. As I recall, you told me it looked like a museum. No, a mausoleum." Liz tried to look contrite and failed. "True, but I didn't hate the place. It was simply that I could see what it was crying out for. We've stamped our mark on it now, and it's warm and welcoming." Matt pulled into the drive of Cannon Farm. "Well, they haven't really been at Holland House long enough to make it theirs, have they? Will is still restricted by that damaged arm, and Kate spends every waking hour working, or so it seems. Give them time. It will be their dream home one day, you'll see." Liz didn't seem convinced. "I think it will take more than a few paint charts and an order from Wayfair to make that place a dream home. Well, that's just my opinion." Matt had barely got his front door key in the lock when Will Stonebridge's car drew up behind theirs. One look at his face told Matt that his friend was far from okay. His smile seemed forced, and his eyes definitely weren't smiling. "Come on in. I'll get the kettle on." Liz hurried off in the direction of the kitchen while Matt ushered Will into the lounge. "We'll wait for Liz and the coffee. You look like you need to offload a bit, Will." Matt smiled somewhat anxiously at his old friend. "You've got that look we used to have when a crappy case got really exasperating." Will gave a humourless laugh. "I recall the feeling well. Life is a bit like that right now. But the thing is, I'm not sure if it's me and I'm reading too much into things, or whether I have every right to be bothered. Well, we were coppers for a long while, and we do tend to see the negative side of things. And you were one of the most intuitive detectives I ever worked with. So if there is a rat, you will definitely have smelt it." "A while ago I would have agreed with you, but since I had to give up the job and we moved here, I just don't feel like that man anymore." "Why don't you talk to Liz, Will? After all, she went through exactly the same thing. She too was retired out of the job she loved. She might be able to help, and if nothing else, she's a damn good listener." "Oh, I'm not going to lay all this on her."